So he says, I told her that all I really want is just one quick text a day to acknowledge my existence. But I didn't force it onto her. I said it in a calm manner. But dude, okay, you might have verbalized it or texted to her in a way that's very calm and just, hey, I just want you to text me like at least once a day. Well, what have you actually done? You've now said to her, hey, I'm forcing you. I'm not forcing you, but I'm forcing you to have communication with me every day, or else I'm going to feel some kind of way about it. I'm going to be hurt. And that, my friend, comes off as needy behavior, regardless of how you present it to her or not. Okay. And again, I want to stress to you, women that have a high interest in you don't need to be told to text you, because women that like you a lot are going to want to make sure that you know that they like you by hitting you up regularly. Hey, just want to check on you. How you doing? What they're not going to do is go more than 2 days without talking to you or texting you or calling you, especially at the 3-month mark. All right. So all this is indicating to me is that her interest has significantly lowered since the day you guys hooked up. Let's continue. She agreed to text me every other day, but then didn't do it. Then after about another 2 days, I tried to contact her again, but she didn't really open the conversation again. She only responded when I said, this is my last attempt. Again, these are not things you need to send to women. Women that like you help you, women that don't won't. So if she wanted to contact you, she would. But also, what are you doing now? You've been texting her consistently, nonstop, trying to get her to talk to you for a couple of days now. And every time you reach out to her, it's, hey, you need to contact me more. Hey, you should text me once a day. Hey, this is my last attempt. You have gone from the fun, jovial, well-to-do guy that she was talking to the semester before to now this hard ass that's like, I'm getting upset that you're not texting me. And let's say she's in the wrong, right? You guys had a good rapport texting and all of a sudden she stopped. This is an example subconsciously of a pull-away test that she's doing, and you're failing because now you're showing her that without her, your world's just going to crumble. But that is too much pressure to put onto a woman, regardless of how long you've known her. So does it suck that she's not texting you all the time? Yes. When that happens, what should you be doing? You should be letting it go and looking towards other women until she contacts you again. You can just say, oh, hey, I know you were busy. What's up? What's going on? What's up? Because you're not in a relationship with her, so you don't owe her any loyalty. But more importantly, you're too stuck on the fact that she's suddenly not contacting you and texting you. And I don't agree with her behavior, but you trying to beg her to contact you is also not going to get you the results that you want. Continuing, he says, so after he said this is my last attempt, he says, then I said again that I find it weird that she didn't want to text me for 5 days straight. To that, she apologized and said it was going to change. It didn't. Yeah, guy, once again, you can't force a woman to text you. And it's not that she didn't text you for 5 days straight. It's that you were consistently badgering her for 5 days to try to text you. If you guys had hooked up and you went home and then you tried texting her and she didn't text back and you left it alone, you would have been able to see after 4 or 5 days if she was just really tripping, if it really was her internet, or she just lost interest. But you didn't give yourself that time because your ego is trying to save this. Your ego's like, but she likes me. I'm a likable guy. I got to keep. And dude, again, you cannot force a woman to contact you. So when this stuff starts to happen, this is what I tell guys, like you reach out, because first of all, you shouldn't be texting women every day anyway. You should only be texting to ask for dates. If you just kept it at texting to ask for dates, then it would be very easy to be able to tell if a woman didn't like you, because you'd hit her up and say, hey, let's go on another date. She'd ignore you. You'd wait a week. You'd ask her out one more time. She'd either ignore you or accept the date, and then you'd know where you stand. But you constantly texting every day to do just frivolous texting, it doesn't allow you to get a good read on where her interest actually is. Versus if you just left it to only texting when you're trying to get a date, then you'd know, oh, she accepted the date. She must still like me. She showed up for the date. She must still like me. Oh, she didn't accept the date. Well, she may be losing interest. I'll give it a week and ask her again. Oh, I asked her out again. She didn't say she wanted to go. She's lost interest. And you can bypass all these misreads you get when you're trying to text her all the time and trying to get her to text you all the time and wondering why she's not texting. I don't even like texting. I don't like texting. The women that I date, I have found I get a better shot at raising their interest and keeping it when I'm not Mr. Texty Text all the time. And you've ruined that by texting her nonstop. So anyway, he says, then 2 days after we did talk a bit, and although I was the one initiating the conversation, because again, he couldn't wait for her, so he has to initiate it himself, she talked pretty much how she usually did before this incident. Then I started ignoring her because I thought she was going to text me if she feels like it, but she didn't say a thing even still. Oh, good Lord. All right. Tomorrow, we're going to meet again, and I would like some advice on what I should do or say. Should I just move on and ghost her? If you're meeting up with her, here's what you should do. If you're asking me my honest opinion of this, okay? My honest opinion is this, is that you're too stuck on trying to use texting as a read for her level of like for you. And dude, I have interviewed, surveyed, talked to, and dated enough women and had these conversations to know women do not like having frivolous texting conversations. And to be honest, this is where a lot of guys messed up, right? Is because in the beginning, there might be a lot of texting because you guys are getting to know each other and trying to establish a bond. And I don't even think you need to do that. Like, I don't think you should be trying to use texting as a way to bond with women early on in the dating process. But the point is that at some point, as that's being more and more established and you guys are actually seeing each other in person more, talking more, doing physical things more, then she might start to lay off on the texting because she's like, I'm going to see him eventually. I don't want to run out of stuff to say to this guy when I see him in person. So I'm going to lay off on the texting a bit and just, save up all my conversation for when I see him. And what guys do that is like, oh my God, she's no longer texting me. Ignoring the fact that they're probably still accepting dates. They're probably still trying to meet up with you in person. No, but she's not texting me enough. And I don't feel secure in this thing unless I'm getting a text every day. So in answer to your question, I wouldn't bring it up. Like, if you're seeing her in person, she's probably tired of the conversations you've had now, badgering her nonstop about texting. Like, you need to go back to the guy that isn't bothered or ruffled when he's not getting a text from a woman. You need to go there and just have a regular ass conversation, show her a regular ass good time, not bring up this whole thing about, I need you to text me at least once a day. And this is our third conversation. I'm starting to feel some kind of way. Like, all that is, it makes you look needy. It makes you look feminine. It makes you look desperate. And it is not attractive to women. So stop doing it. All right. And then you go see her tomorrow. You have a good time. Maybe you get a hookup. Maybe you don't, but you get to see her. And then you go home and try not texting her. Like, go home and try not texting her for like a minimum of 3 or 4 days until you text her again, asking her for a date. Just try the only texting when you're asking for a date program. You know what you'll probably start to notice if she still has high interest in you? Well, if she doesn't, she may start to build up interest again to where she's reaching out to you more. And then lo and behold, you may find that she actually realizes, oh my God, like, he's not texting me a lot. The only way I get to hear from him is if I text him. Let me reach out. All right.
Call this beat Will Smith, cause it slaps hard. Hear it now.